Okay, now I think everyone should be able to see my screen. If you can't, Lauren, if you want to let me know if you can't see my screen. Otherwise, I'll assume that everyone can see my screen. So, okay, great. So for those of you who are joining our Simplify webinar for the first time, we're going to give a little bit of a Simplify intro and tell you about our company. I'll tell you about myself and some of my background. And then we will kind of jump into the project planning, our prepackaged content that we've built around project planning and SAP Analytics Cloud. So my name is Jared Bialik. I'm a client partner with Simplify Solutions. I have a long history in SAP planning solutions, starting with BW Integrated Planning back in 2005, 2006, all the way up, to when SAP acquired BPC in 2008, acquired OutlookSoft and created BPC. Primarily a BPC, BW, now SAC group reporting, consultant, and with that background, SAP planning background. So my industries, span across multiple industries: CPG, utilities, retail, manufacturing, as many planning consultants do. I come from both a boutique and Big Four background. Prior to Simplify, I was at KPMG for 6 years as a director of their planning EPM practice. So, experience with both large customers, Fortune 100, as well as smaller SAP customers, kind of building out planning, analytics, consolidation solutions across the board. So a lot of variations. Again, my history is kind of in that planning analytics. Going now to SAP Analytics Cloud. Happy to kind of answer any questions regarding kind of comparisons between BPC and SAC. I get that a lot. So, as we go on in this this webinar, feel free to add questions. I will, given that I can't really see the questions as they're added, I'll go through at the end of the webinar, look to see if there's any questions, address them at this time. There will also be a survey that will be sent to you, kind of talking about this presentation. At that point, you can ask questions. Please make sure to include your contact information so that I can respond to you if it doesn't come through. So that's just a little bit about me and kind of how this presentation will go. So Simplify, we are finance and analytics experts. So much like my background, we focus on SAP planning solutions. So we, again, really only deal with SAP. We don't do Anaplan. We don't do OneStream. So we are, heavily invested, heavily focused on SAP Analytics Cloud, group reporting, and BPC. So we still have several legacy BPC customers. We also have a mix of, we also have customers that have a mix of BPC and SAC. We focus on, SAC solutions that integrate with S/4HANA on-premise, S/4HANA Cloud, ECC, BW, as well as group reporting. So, we'll kind of talk about some of the integration scenarios in the project planning, but just, kind of know as, for Simplify as a company, we have experience in kind of integrating to all these different solutions. Our customer focus is primarily implementation services. We also do offer training services. We also offer kind of a service as an expert as a service offering as well, where we can kind of come in, to an implementation that's either mid-flight or already been delivered, and kind of add our expertise, add our prepackaged solutions, testing resources, documentation resources, training resources, what have you. So we can come in at multiple stages of the project. We like to come in earlier in the project than later, because we kind of see greater success in that and better value. But we are open and willing to kind of join a project at any point in its life cycle. We have 2 offices, one in Chicago, one in Montreal. Our goal is 100% referenceable customers. So we are fully committed to doing everything that we can to deliver implementations with 100% customer satisfaction. We've done a great job of that, staying true to that mission. We have several of our customers speak on our behalf, either for references or at multiple speaking engagements such as financials, Sapphire, what have you. So we are a customer, we're a part SAP Analytics Cloud partner that we work quite a bit with SAP. They bring us in to many opportunities. We co-present with them, working with them on kind of product roadmap and kind of enhancements of the solution as well. So I think we have some of them on the call today, so hello. We always love working with our SAP partners. So again, just kind of going back to this 100% referenceable clients, here are some of the quotes from a selected group of our implementations and customers. We are very much, we were an early adopter of SAP Analytics Cloud. We have some of the first large-scale SAP Analytics Cloud deployments. We continue to deliver kind of innovative solutions for SAP Analytics Cloud. And so, I think that early investment in both our prepackaged solutions, which I'll go over, as well as in the technology itself, has really started to pay some dividends here. And, as the tool is getting better and better with each release, it only makes kind of our solutions and our expertise, even better. So it's great. We love the direction that SAC is going in, and we, again, kind of from the beginning of the tool, we were able to have success with the tool. The tool's only gotten better, and we've only had, more success. So we look forward. The future looks bright for SAP Analytics Cloud. So some of the prepackaged solutions that we offer, we go ahead and take a look at that URL for kind of our list on our website of our prepackaged solutions. But we focus on sales. The revenue should have a star as well. Costing, P&L, expense planning, HR planning, capital planning. We can now add project planning to that list as well. So as we build this out, we are adding prepackaged solutions and so as we're building out these prepackaged solutions, we can build those out, offer kind of a jump start for these solutions that really limit the amount of time that it takes to implement a solution. So we both are able to kind of offer our solutions at a lower cost, as well as kind of a faster delivery time. We can tailor these solutions to be specific to kind of your customer needs. So as we see, we have multiple approaches where we have a low configuration approach, we have a medium high configuration approach that depending on how much of the prepackaged solution you're able to use, kind of dictates how much customization we add, dictates the cost, dictates the timeline. So as we look at project planning, that's a little bit of background for Simplify Solutions and kind of our prepackaged solutions as well as our SAC expertise. The project planning specifically, we like to, we've seen project planning kind of both be a standalone solution as well as integrated with integrated with other models like R&D or capital project planning. So this is an example of, how we can show a project planning workflow where we have a capital launch pad. We come into our capital planning, look at, this again for capital projects, our planning solution kind of deals with both capital and non-capitalized projects. But this is kind of showcasing some of the integration between our project planning and our CapEx planning process. So as we come in here, we see this dashboard, we see, we have recorded webinars of our CapEx planning, and we can integrate these two, both the CapEx and project planning, through this, and you'll see some of the links in our content when I get to this the SAC solution. You can kind of see how they're brought together, how these reports are linked together, how we can send data back and forth between the models. So as we're starting here, we see a CapEx planning process and the process steps to the left. We have kind of an approval process for projects being approved. We can then plan project resources. And this is really where we're coming in and where we're going to talk today on this process for planning the labor costs, the labor demand, reviewing those shortages, planning non-labor costs, and then reviewing those costs and then sending it either back to capital model for it to be depreciated and capitalized, or it can be a standalone sent to a financial system as well. So right now I'm going to open that up. So as we come here, here's a catalog, and if we were to look at our catalog of all of our solutions, you can see here our CapEx planning, different profitability analysis, P&L planning, HR planning. This is just kind of a catalog of a lot of our prepackaged solutions, also a lot of stuff that's kind of in flight and working with. So as we're going here, I'm going to open up the project planning, and we're going to go, and it's going to bring me to that launch page that you saw from the presentation. So I just want to make sure. Okay, I think, and Lauren, just if any of these screens don't present, please let me know. I should be presenting my entire screen, but just double checking. So as we're looking in here, we come to our labor and expense planning process landing page. We can see all of our process steps to the left here. So what we're going to do is we're going to plan our labor rates, plan our labor demand, our resource assignments, our labor, and then review any shortages that we would have, which would be kind of our demand versus our supply. So as we can see here, we get our project cost, and then we have a breakdown of both our labor costs and what kind of roles we have that are making up that cost, the cost breakdown by role. We also have our non-labor project costs, and those are also broken down by categories. And then we have our total project cost here. Down below, we have just a quick visualization that shows, both our labor and non-labor costs for the current plan and prior plan, and then shows the variance, between those two plans. So, we have dashboards. It's a pretty basic dashboard, but this is something that we're kind of always adding new visualizations, be it numeric points here, or kind of comparison visualizations, waterfall visualizations, what have you. So if you're new to SAC and some of the visualization capabilities, check out some of our other webinars. You can kind of see all the different reporting and visualization capabilities, but this is kind of a brief example of some of the reporting capabilities and visualizations out of SAC. So this process begins by planning our labor rates. So how we have this set up, and this can be set up at any level of granularity. We can set this up by salary groups. We can set it up by cost centers. We can set it up by individual employees. So for purposes of this presentation, we have this set up as salary groups, and then we attach those salary groups, plan various salary groups for different kind of labor groups as well. So we have a salary group here. We can, change this to $75 an hour. We can then see that these, this comparison for this salary group compared to prior plan of 65, for a delta of 15%. So some live, live charting, live comparison based on this. Then we can, publish this data, and this will be, saved back to the database against this version. So here we come in, we plan our labor rates. Again, we can break this down, when we talk about minor enhancements, kind of being able to create multiple hierarchies for these labor groups and labor rates, something that's very easily managed in this solution. So as we see here, we also have some navigation, whether to go to, continue on project demand, go back to the launch page. We also have the, some filters here. This is an input control to be able to filter on the company code. So these labor rates are maintained at the company code level. Again, this can be, maintained at various levels of granularity, be it, profit centers, cost centers, company codes, regions, what have you. So a lot of flexibility built into the solution. So for this screen, we come to our project demand. We see that we have all the hours here planned by month across different projects, and then we have the different labor groups or labor skill sets, if you will, across the different accounts. So these projects are manually maintained. We do have the ability to come in here, and if we wanted to, we can right click, add member, and we can either add an existing project down here. So if we were to hit these two boxes here, we can come down here and select an existing project, or we can type in a new project. So it's going to look, says I can't find it. I go ahead, hit enter, and then it's going to prompt me for all the details of creating that master data. So, very flexible tool, and the ability to either bring in projects from a project system or S4 or another model within SAC, but also the ability to add projects on the fly. So as we see here, we are able to plan these out by month. These are actually at a day granularity. So as you'll see, we have the workday here. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday comes back on Monday. So we have all of our hours. This is something that, again, can be planned at the day level or the month level for the hours that are required by resource. So this is something that can be supplied from a project system, or it can be supplied through Excel, or it can be supplied manually in these planning layouts, as you see. So after we plan, again, these are the hours that are demanded. So this would come off of a project plan saying, for research project 1, I need 11 hours, on January 1st of engineering, right? I need 8 hours of QA. So then we would go to our resource assignments. And then here we can look at the hours demanded, the hours supplied, and any shortages that exist. So as we look at this, we can see, we have a difference of 904 hours between, what the project is thought to require and what has been assigned to resources. So we can go down into the total hours shortage, and we can see, in engineering, we have basically, we have a demand of 3,000 hours, which we store against no resource. And then we have this single resource is providing 2,096 hours, within the next year. So, we have a shortage of 904 hours that needs to be provided by a new resource. So we could then go in, change our supply, basically add a new resource, how many hours that's going to be, and then we can address any labor shortages we have. But we also have the ability to kind of look at this. This is at a total level, but this can be broken out at a weekly, daily level to highlight these shortages as well. So we can see, is this shortage because we don't have a resource for the entire time, or do we have a resource that's rolling off earlier or not planning to work, what have you. We can see that, here we're, have the resource plan by day. Again, kind of just the ability to get down to that very detailed level of granularity, able to plan that. What we have, we don't have a SuccessFactors system for our internal system, but what we have done for a customer is, integrate the SuccessFactors employee cost data, so their salary, kind of breaking that out at a monthly level, applying that as a cost for the project level. So both in terms of, what that cost is assigned to a project, as well as what that cost is for, kind of overhead or, just kind of overall operating costs as well. So, we're able to bring in data from multiple systems, be it S/4HANA, SuccessFactors, project, or project planning, being able to bring that into this solution and kind of incorporate that data and not have to plan it all from scratch. So this is just a visualization that kind of highlights what we're showing on the previous screen. So we can see here that, you know, a very nice kind of easy to see visualization that shows the hour shortage by project. So we can see that this project looks good. This project again is short, and 100% of that shortage comes from engineering. So again, just kind of an easy way we can filter this by project. We can filter it by company code, and then go back and address the shortage and reevaluate. So as we move on, we can see that we have resource costs. So we can compare this from our current plan to our prior plan, able to look at these variances and look at them, you know, by resources, by account. So as we break these down in different labor groups, we can see, you know, how we're trending in terms of overall labor costs, and then labor costs by each individual labor category, be it engineering, QA, management, legal, what have you. We also have the capability to add comments here. So what's nice about this is that this shows the latest comment, but if you were to double click on this, you have the ability to kind of see a history of comments as well. So you can see that I first entered 5% increase in labor rate due to tight labor market. I then increased that to 6% a couple minutes later, and then we see the latest version here. So this is something that, you know, if you're used to commenting in BPC, it didn't quite have the, you know, most times how it was built, you didn't have the ability to see a history of comments. It just kind of overwrote the last one. So this feature is, you know, I think pretty handy, because then you can start to tell a story, be able to save multiple comments and kind of change the story as the data changes. Okay. And next we have the ability to plan non-labor costs. So as our projects are made up of both labor and non-labor, with usually labor being the biggest component, there's also a requirement to plan out the non-labor costs of various projects, be it R&D or operational projects. You know, these are again completely customizable in terms of the categories. We can bring in actuals from an S/4HANA system, you know, and be able to kind of look at what we're spending in materials, freight, supplies, travel, utilities. We can allocate that using SAC. We can allocate it in S/4HANA. But then we can also plan it here in SAC as well for these individual projects. So we have the ability to, you know, again, plan these non-labor costs, plan it at really any level of granularity. Now, given that the model, this particular model is at daily granularity, we can just enter these values at a monthly level. They'll spread it, but you know, that's not really anything that we have to concern ourselves with, but we can enter these at you know, at the February level here. And then it's just going to store that. We can also enter it at a yearly level. So if we knew that, you know, for all of you know, for all materials, we're going to have 300,000, we can then store it at that level, and it's just going to spread that out across the year. So that capability is, again, you know, not specific to our solution. That's just a capability that's built into SAC. So that is, you know, that capability is available for all of our solutions and kind of all of our planning layouts. That's built in, again, built into SAC. So as we plan each of these individual projects, and again, we can kind of look at this. We do have the ability to, you know, filter this and look at projects on an individual project level. We can combine projects. Again, this is all on the fly. So there wasn't any data there, but if we add project 1, we can see that that is, we can combine these projects and look at that. So as we're looking, as we plan both our labor and our non-labor costs, we come back and come back to our landing page. We're able to kind of see how these costs have changed, compare this to our prior plan, see how we are tracking compared to our prior plan. Again, see these values at a high level, and be able to filter at both company and project. So then, as we plan this, we could return to our capital project and, be able to go ahead and publish that. And come back to our CapEx project planning and be able to incorporate those costs and then apply that to, basically apply that to kind of our overall CapEx planning process. So then we'd be able to depreciate, run depreciation calcs on those costs, NPV, and some of our other costs that, our other calculations that are part of our CapEx planning process. So that pretty much, covers our project planning solution. I'm going to go ahead and open up and see if there's any questions here. Okay. So I don't have any questions out there, but that pretty much covers kind of everything that I was looking to cover for project planning. If you have any questions, let me know, and I can, again, in the survey, leave your name, your contact information, and then I can get back to you and, address any questions you have. So I just wanted to thank you very much for joining us. If you can, please, kind of leave your feedback, any enhancements that you'd like to see or things that you think would be helpful for project planning, as well as, check out our other content on YouTube or on our website. So thanks again. I've been Jared Bialik. Happy holidays to you coming up. Thank you very much for joining. I know it's a busy time of year, and look forward to talking to you soon. All right. Thank you.